record. That would be lovely because I have too many programs going on. So, with that being said, we'll start. Hold on. Okay. Anyways, all right. Let us begin. We'll open up with my general statement. Welcome to today's debate. One of two before we vote on the final candidate. You all have been permitted to basically campaign however you like. You can create your own political party. You can gather your own supporters, and you can all of the above. It's all completely up to you. Hold on one second. All right. Okay. My bad. I had to excuse my absence. Where was I? Yeah, you can campaign for yourself however you wish. It's completely up to you. I wish you all the best of luck. And with that being said, we will move into our opening introductions, and I'll start with Simpin. If you were smart, you would have automatically prepared for this ahead of time, not even knowing the format. So I'll go on mute now. Mason, I ask you to do the same. And once you start talking, your 2-minute timer will be started.
All right, so everyone spam ping me in the chat so I can know you're all awake. So if you're doing something else, wake up right now. All right. So I've heard a lot of bickering about the problems in CA as everyone has. Okay, you can stop now. But really, I want to make a stand here and just give you and provide. I said stop, by the way. But I want to provide the best that I can provide for all of you. I'm not just going to sit in the office and then just not do anything. I'm going to change the CA for the better good of its people. I will hear you guys out. And all of my decisions will be based on your decisions, as I said in my opening speech way back when. Now, you may all see Mason's veterancy as, a closed deal for this election, as he's been HQ multiple times. But all I am saying is that I've been close with your regiments. I have been in multiple of them. And I want to say that to my best of my ability, I will provide for all of you. I will hear all of you out. And together, we will change the CA for the better good of its people. Thank you.
Okay. Opening introduction stopped with 50 seconds left to remain. I'll reset the timer. Mason, whenever you begin speaking, the timer will begin.
All right. Hello, everyone. It's Mason here. As you guys, a lot of you already know me. I have been in CA for about 6 years now. I've been a part of, obviously, rifles a lot, mostly. HQ I've been a part of plenty of times. As a speaker, I definitely plan to listen to all of you guys' opinions, all of your voices, as Simping also just said. I have really good organizational skills. I have a lot of good assets that I can use to help better the CA and help better for everyone else. All my decisions will not be based on just to help one part of CA. It'll be based to help the whole group in its entirety. And I definitely plan on helping out CA for the most part. And yeah, that's all.
Okay, his introduction stopped with approximately 1 minute and 7 seconds left. So I will reset the timers, and at this time, we'll be moving into questions concerning the CA. I'm going to go ahead and advance this to 20 minutes instead, because I have a lot of questions I want to ask you all. So let's get ready. All right, audience, at any time, if you want to suggest a question, you can. I pretty much have every question I need, though, so just be patient. I might actually get to something you want to hear. So let us begin. 20 minutes start now. Both candidates may unmute. All right. First question. We'll start with Simpin, and then once he's done, Mason, you may answer. Simpin, we're gonna start with the very top. How do you believe the Speaker of the House should fit in with the rest of HQ?
Now, as from your beginning announcement announcing this position, in my opinion, I've seen it as, a bridge between HQ and the people of CA, right? It's kind of that middle ground position where, the people can actually be heard and can actually have a voice in HQ's decisions. Now, with that comes a lot of responsibility, and obviously all my decisions may not satisfy all parties, and I totally understand that. But as Speaker of the House, you need to be able to listen to, both sides of the argument or the situation. And with that, you can...
Love
you
Yo, I'm sending streaks on Snap. My bad, dog.
Oh, god damn it.
But hold on, one more streak. One more streak. Hold on. All right, there we
Yeah,
go.
don't worry. Take your time. Take your
All right,
time.
y'all go.
Oh god damn it! But with that being said, god damn it! With that being said, you can see how important of a position that is. Well, this is, and how how this could be used as a game changer for all of you in CA, and how this won't only benefit one regiment, in that it will benefit all of you as a whole. Obviously, with that, I'm seeing myself as kind of the position setter, to set the example for the next few speakers to come. With that, I can wholeheartedly confirm that I will, to my best of ability, will set the stage for the next guys to come, and I will provide for all of you. I will listen to you. I will hear you guys out, and I will change the CA for the better good of its people, like I've said 3,000 times.
Yo, what's that beeping? Am I tripping?
Uh-oh.
Oh, you know,
Is that me?
that's
I think the girl you were snapping, bro. I think.
Nah, bro. Who was
Oh.
that? No, was that
I
Pin?
don't know.
Was it? I'm sorry, it was driving me crazy. All right, have you finished the question yet?
Yeah, I finished.
All right, Mason. I'll reiterate the question. How do you see the Speaker of the House fitting in with the rest of HQ as a role?
all right. So I see the.
But I think my house is on fire.
Okay, so I see the House Speaker position fitting into HQ, simply just by, as Simping also just said, it's more of like a bridge to connect. He's doing it again. It's more of a bridge between the people in HQ, where the House Speaker will see the issues that are in CA and where we're at and how we can fix it, and then we will spread it across the House to all the representatives, and then we vote on it. Then we bring it out to HQ. Then it goes to HQ approval. Once we get through that, then we will see if it works out for all of us. It's mainly just about seeing how we can benefit the people. It's all about the people. Without the people, this HQ is nothing. Simple as that.
That's your answer?
I wasn't done yet.
Oh, my fault. Go ahead, bud.
Yep. So the people obviously are what power the group, and the House Speaker fitting in with HQ, we're able to hear them out. We're able to hear problems as they are. So HQ is more aware of the situations and how we can benefit off of them.
All right, that's the timer. That was very Android-like. My bad. All right. Moving on. Next question for Simpin. Given that you're running for an HQ position that is supposed to be a bridge to the voice of democracy, how do you feel knowing that the community is still and probably always will be filled with guys such as, trolls or people who are racist and we haven't figured it out yet, or just overall toxicity? How do you plan to deal with that if you're supposed to be the voice of democracy for the rest of the people?
Now, of course, I understand there's going to be those few guys that, are toxic, just hate everybody in general. But really, as speaker, you still have to listen to those guys. Yes, they may be stupid at some points, but that doesn't mean they're wrong. I've seen many situations where, yes, people are toxic, but they have, good policies, good ideas to bring to the table. Now, although many of you may not support these guys, and I'm not saying I don't or do, I'm just saying that we need to hear out everybody as a group, and we can't just, obviously if they're being stupid just to be stupid, then why acknowledge them, right? But if they're offering, help or their ideas to bring to the table, I have to hear them out as speaker. I can't just ignore somebody just because of their personality. And really, what I plan on doing is just, hearing you guys out. Like I've said at least 15,000 times at this point. I'm just going to do my job. I'm just going to be the bridge, And really, obviously, some people will be toxic to me. Some people will hate me. But I understand everyone's opinions. Wow, who's snapping you?
My bad, bro.
Yeah.
I'll go on mute.
No. You need to answer that. But anyways, basically what I'm saying is that I will hear all of you out no matter what your opinions may be about me or anything like that. But really that's about it from my side.
All right, that's the timer.
Perfect.
Moving on to Mason. Do you remember the question?
Can you reiterate, please?
All right. So, given that you're running for a position that is supposed to be the bridge to voice of democracy in the CA, how do you feel, and how will you deal with knowing that many of the voices in the CA might be people who are racist, might be people who are toxic, or just overall trolls, and they might try to take advantage of that?
Okay, so obviously, I've dealt with this plenty of times before as Major General, Brigadier General, even Major General at one point. I've dealt with people like this plenty of times. I'm even still in contact with most of them myself. So, to deal with that, I'm open to listening to everyone's opinions. Everyone's, not just a small few, not just people who have more common sense than others, maybe people that aren't as stupid as others. I care more about everyone as a whole. Well, if anyone offers me an idea that I see a work fit, that I will propose it. While everything may not go through, it may not be as great as others, I'm still open to listening to it and proposing it and making compromises for it. This has been, as you know, oh, bro. Anyway, moving on from that. My experience as well, I know how to deal with these people in situations like these. If it is more annoying though, then they will be ignored. But other than that, I know how to deal with them fine, and that's all.
Wonderful. All right, next topic. As you know, the Speaker of the House is. Why are y'all doing that? Speaker of the House, it does come with a few perks, such as veto power. How do you feel knowing that you have the power to veto any HQ member except me? And how will you plan on using this power?
Now, really, obviously, vetoing is a big power, and especially HQ or group-wide decisions, as you know. I don't plan on, just using it out of spite of somebody I don't like in HQ, or out of just straight up bias. I will, if the people, my God, if the people want something,
I'm sorry.
It's fine. If the people want something changed, or they dislike an HQ decision that they feel like should be changed or vetoed, I will deliver for them. I will not just act out on my personal, opinions or depending on who I like, blah, blah, blah. As speaker, you can't rely on it to make all the decisions, because if you're biased, people will hate you. And if people hate you, obviously you get, But as I was saying, to veto is a great responsibility, and I plan on using it to the best of my abilities, whether that be going against all of HQ for the good of the people, or just making it better to better fit the people of the CI needs. That is all.
Mason?
All right. Can you do the question one more time?
All right. The Speaker of the House, how do you feel knowing that this role and title in HQ has the power to veto any BGen or MGen on a group-wide decision? And how do you plan on using that? I'll go on mute.
All right. So I don't plan to use my veto as much unless it's a certain situation where it does not benefit the CA as a whole. If it doesn't benefit the CA as a whole, then I will definitely use a veto power to use it. If it is for a group-wide decision where it benefits the CA entirely, then I don't plan on using it as entire. Like, I don't plan on using it at all.
Oh, that's it?
So yeah, straightforward.
All right, then, bud. Let me go ahead. All right, next question. As you know, there is a lot of controversial topics going around involving the seasons, which, by the way, actually kicks off next month. How do you feel knowing that the voice of the CA is upset in certain areas? You know what? I'll reword this question to be a little more controversial. I don't want to go here, but I will. Obviously, the voice of the CA will not be all in one agreement. You're going to have regimental voices, and then the reps are going to want different things. Like Dragoons want to be buffed. Oh, fuck. Dragoons want to be, let me just put this on Do Not Disturb. Dragoons want to be buffed, while Rifles might want them nerfed. You see what I'm saying? So, understanding this, how do you know that the voice of CA will not always come to you in one consensus, and how do you plan on dealing with that?
Now, of course, like I said before, my decisions or others' opinions may not benefit one or another party. But I want to get it as close as possible to benefiting everyone in CI. Yes, I understand, CICG may want sabers, but the rest of the infantry regiments don't, because they see it as overpowered, and I get that. However, I will closely watch the season matches, and as it goes on, I will try to communicate better with CI to balance it out as much as possible to satisfy all the regiments altogether. I understand that some rules may be unfair in your eyes, some rules may be fair. But really, it's just about understanding the abilities of all regiments. Because, yes, although one regiment may get, like, a saber, for example, that doesn't mean it's impossible to beat them. You just have to work towards it, and you have to communicate well with, of course, the speaker, who can watch it if he thinks or she thinks, it gets too unfair for the rest of the regiments. But of course, I will communicate all my decisions and all my opinions on the season rules and all respective cases like that to better, for you guys. Okay, well, there goes my time. But,
All right. Mr. Mason.
All right. So obviously we know it's like the whole situation between Rifles being overpowered, and we also have the horses being overpowered. We talk about that every day basically. We're at a point now where the House of Representatives will be deciding that entirely, and then it'll come down to the judgment of whether or not that bill will be passed through the representatives. It is not fully my decision. I'll be the one that could propose decisions when they're given to me, but it's all going to be based on the representatives in the House that decide that, and then going on to HQ. And we'll be looking directly close towards seasons, especially with one coming up next month. We'll be looking directly at that, and we'll decide based on what we see. We will observe every season match that we're able to attend, once you see how each tool is played out, what the strategies are, if they can counter it or not, or if they can't counter it, that's all going to depend on how seasons go. That's all.
All right. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful. All right. Next question. Why do you feel the other person is not fit? Is not fit to be Speaker of the House? Go.
Now, I know we've all, seen Mason's abilities in HQ. We've seen him throughout the years benefit a lot to the CA. But in my opinion, for somebody that's been in HQ so many times, he can only run for another HQ position or be put in another HQ position to really have an effect on the CA. Because we need change, and we need change fast. And yes, although Mason has done a lot for the CA as a whole, we can't benefit that he won't just disappear into the shadows again like he has done countless times, as he's promised that he won't come back. Now, obviously, you may ignore my opinions, or you may just outright not think I'm fit for the job just because I have less experience than him. And although that may be valid, I have a lot of new and upcoming ideas to benefit the CA to more recent how do I say this? To more recent issues, because in reality, I've been active in this group ever since I joined 2-3 years ago. I have been, updated with the CA overall, and I know the recent issues that we've been encountering with seasons being unfair, etc. And really, all I want to say is for you guys to hear me out on what I have to say, what my ideals are, how I can benefit you guys, and to just make a decision based on that. That is all.
Mason?
So everyone, obviously, you may see me as a old-fashioned guy who should be out of CA by now. Obviously, I've heard it all. I still have been very active within the Discords, to where I know how CA has been actually functioning, what's been actually going on, what issues we're facing. I've seen all of it, and I have great organizational skills. I have easily fixed many problems that have happened. So that's already one thing I have. I have experience. So if I end up being Speaker of the House, for example, if I win, I'm easily able to set the precedent for how Speaker fits for future time. My experience, my dedication to CA, and everything else has easily outdone what Stepping has done as a whole. Okay? I have the experience over him. I have the dedication. I will not disappear into the shadows as I'm in office. That is one thing I promise I will not do.
Is that all?
Yep.
Wonderful. All right. At this time, does the audience have any questions they would like to be asked? All right.
I see
You gotta
one.
ping me in order to get questions, so hurry up. Ooh, okay. Camo. Good question, Camo. Simpin, this question's for you.
All right.
It is, why should we trust Simpin after his recent, I don't know why I cannot, whatever, after his recent colonelship in third?
Now, all right. With the colonelship in third situation, I was basically forced in that position. I denied it. I didn't want it, and I was still put in it. And although you may say, "Oh, quote unquote, I killed the regiment," I had to purge 147 members that have been in the regiment since April of 2022. So, for many of you saying that I killed it, you weren't in the regiment at that time, and you wouldn't know how I organized it to better fit the CO that obviously is in third now, Thomas. He's been in it for a year or so, and honestly, I wasn't bound to get it. It was supposed to be Death, but of course he left for MP and all that jazz. So I know how to organize regiments, and I know how the CA works overall. Thank you.
All right. This next question is I don't know how to say his name, but it's a Cosmos. He said, "How many times has Mason left the CA?" I'll re-ask that question. How many times have you left the CA and came back?
So, I mean, me coming back obviously is the big part of that question, actually. I've over the 6 different years I've been a part of CA. I'm not
Damn.
missing for a whole different year, like a whole straight year, a whole 2 years, a whole 3 years. You take breaks in between. That's what I've been doing. I've been taking breaks for a little period of time, then I'd come back, then do my job again. See it in a bad spot, come back, help it, fix it again, move on. Simple as that.
All right. It's a troll question. I don't even know I should ask it. No, I'm not asking like a troll question.
No.
All right. Someone wants to know if you're gonna provide gay rights for the CA.
What? Can you repeat the question one more time?
Will you provide gay rights for the CA?
Yes, I will.
All right, whatever. All right. Follow up by Camo. Quotation marks. I know how to organize regiments, so I guess he's quoting you. He then said, "Then why don't people recognize Sempin as a legendary leader? Why does the name Stop Sempin, quote unquote, grade up to names like Luigi, Platt, Alex, and such?" Alex, the fuck. All right, answer that question.
Here, can you reread it? Okay.
All right. Now I gotta find it, bruh. All right. I know how to organize regiments, Sempin said. Then why don't people recognize Sempin as a legendary leader? Why does the name Stop Sempin not grade up to names like Luigi, Platt, Alex, and such?
So I'm gonna answer that real quick. So one, I was of course CO on 5th. All of you know I picked CA, quote unquote, the wrong team. And that of course you could argue it led to our defeat in, of course, the Crown Season match against Rifles in Season 5. Now, before that, I, along with Drew, of course, I cannot just ignore him. He was a great EXO. We led the regiment to a 10-0 season, the only time in its history that has ever gone undefeated. And really, the only thing people mention or see about my colonelship is the fact I picked the wrong team. Most people, ignore the fact that I organized 5th with some of the stuff it has today, like the ISTs I brought back. I made new spreadsheets, I made new documents, and coming from the fact that as a lieutenant just recently getting recommissioned, that I was promoted immediately to colonel, I'd say getting rallies up to 30s and 40s is pretty damn good for a guy that's inexperienced like that.
That's your answer?
So, yeah, that's all.
All right. Question from Mason. What sets you apart from everyone else? You all have the same answers, but no individuality. How do you plan on setting yourself apart?
Well, it may seem like we have the same answers because obviously I will give credit to Sipping as well. We both share the same viewpoints as House. But what sets me apart from Sipping is that I'm actually willing to answer everyone's questions, listening to everyone as a whole. I'm actively listening on Discord. I know they said that, yes. Well, but
Okay.
I just
Good. I'll give you time. I'm just trying to keep track of all the questions.
No, I know. Because I personally, I have the better, I have the overhead on Sipping when it comes to that, based on my time, and knowing what CA needs, how people actually are going to react to it, what people need, what HQ needs, how the group will actually improve, if it will decline, that stuff.
Okay. I'll have 2 more questions. One for Simpin, one for Mason. Mason, while I'm on you, I'll just ask it right now. Let me go ahead and find it. Okay, wait. I'm losing track of the questions. Guys, ask them again. I'm losing. Okay, all right. All right, good, Agent. All right, good. Okay, well, no, I'll go with Agents because it's more on topic. Stop Simpin is saying he's a great leader, yet under him, we never won a PR. Under him, in his 3 to 4 month term as a CO. How do you want to answer that in relation to your leadership?
Now, I want to see the records personally from him, so he can gather that information by himself and send it to me. Now, yes, you could argue that we quote unquote lost every PR, but we didn't lose every PR. In fact, we grew each PR we fought for. And I am not arguing about my colonelship in 3rd due to the pure fact that I had little experience in the regiment itself, and I had only been in it for like a couple months after going on a month-long break and coming back and of course getting colonel. I, just like Majestic just said, in my opinion, got colonel unexpectedly. I wasn't prepared for it at all, and of course I denied the position. You cannot blame my leadership for unpreparedness.
That's a good answer. Like Majestic just said, Simpin was a good leader in 3rd. He just got command way too early. I think I remember calling you shits too. My fault. All right, moving on. Ooh. All right, Mason, I gotta hit you with 2 questions. I'm sorry. Because Simpin been getting some heat, and these are good questions. All right, from Jeff. Mason, if you have been at HQ many times before, how do we not know you're just going to leave?
As I just made the promise, I am willing to fully commit to this position, and I'm fully willing to stay for my full term. Then I'll definitely, if I am elected, I definitely plan on going for re-election at the end of the term.
Wait, you're gonna go for re-election?
If elected, yes.
Ooh, all right, cool. All right. Well, Simpin, I'll ask you. Are you gonna go for re-election?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Second question for Mason, then we're closing and going on to the hot seat. Most of the issues in CA now has always been an issue even back then. To be honest, if you were Major General, why didn't you fix the issues then? What makes it different now? It's similar to Joe Biden being in office for 40 years and haven't done anything. That question is from somebody who's in HICOM. I just forgot who. Go.
Question was for me?
Yeah, that was for you. You want me to re-say it?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll go word for word. All right. Basically, they just called you Joe Biden. They said most of the issues in CA now have always been issues back then when you were in command. If you were Major General, why didn't you fix the issues then? And what makes it different now? And then they said it's similar to Joe Biden being in office for 40 years and haven't done anything.
All right, so basically, at my time as Major General, there was obviously a lot of problems with it because we also had Collins, the CA, and everything. All that jazz. The position was different than what it is now. Before, you were expected to oversee what the Brigadier General's duties were as Major General. Everything seemed to be running smooth at the time that I was Major General, but obviously I know there was some background issues that the HQ at the time was not very organized. Personally, I'll admit it right now, it wasn't very organized myself. Yeah, it wasn't very organized, and that's one thing I wish I Major General I could at the time. But then again, I had to put all my decisions through the general at the time. I believe was.
All right, I'm back. All right. All right, we're closing questions. Jeff said, you keep saying you're going to stay every time you dip. Boy who cries wolf, basically. You don't have to answer that. I'm just saying.
Yep.
All right. Moving on to the hot seat. I hope you all make this entertaining. All right. Do you all understand the hot seat, or do you want me to re-explain it?
Just go over it a little bit, please.
All right. You all have obviously never been in an AP history class. I'm just kidding. All right. Basically, the hot seat is, think of it as like a court case. One of you is prosecuting the other. You're trying to, it's like you rapidly ask questions Okay, so you ask them a question, they're forced to answer it, or they can choose not to, which just look bad. It looks bad on them. So it's a hot seat. You ask them multiple questions. They can't ask you anything. They can only answer, and then roles are reversed. You got that?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
10 minutes for each of you all. At any time, the guy asking the questions may stop, but the person answering must keep answering them, or just plead the fifth. It's up to you.
Okay.
Yeah, ready?
Ready?
Mhm.
Stop simping. You will be asking the questions. Mason, you are in the hot seat. Timer begins as soon as Stop Simping finishes asking his first question.
All right. Now, obviously, I've seen chats about this, but first question going off here: will you be biased towards rifles, and will you make the changes necessary to satisfy the needs of the people?
All right. So I will assure you that I will have no bias towards any regiment in general. I will provide anything that CA needs that they need in general.
All right. Moving on to my second question. Now, of course, a few days ago, might have been a week or two ago, I was just sifting through the chats, and I noticed how you made kind of, I wouldn't say sarcastic, but you made a remark on how you said it would be funny if you won the election, basically implying that you were running as a joke and not, seriously.
I
My
was
bad. I
making.
just had to react to that.
All right. So at the time, I was it wasn't me running as I'm not running in this election as a joke. It's not a joke. I'm taking this as seriously as I can. Okay. Let's make that point clear to everyone. I'm dedicated to get in this position. I'm not gonna
Well,
make it as a joke.
Well, that just doesn't apply. That just doesn't go by what you said before about how it would be "quote unquote" funny if you won this
I was
election.
making a joke at the time.
Okay, so it was a joke.
It was a joke. It wasn't me saying
Okay,
I'm not. It wasn't me saying that I'm taking this position funny.
you heard that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, moving on to the next question here: how can you confirm that you will stay in CA, and how can you confirm that you've been "quote unquote" active, like you said before, on just basically the discords about how the recent issues of CA have been addressed and covered.
Like, can
Like
you take that one?
how will you keep up to date basically with the common changes of CA?
How I keep up to date?
Yeah.
I'm always active on Discord, as as you just said. I'm always active on the Discords. I'm always checking announcements. I'm always checking everything on here. I'm always listening to DMs. I'm on Bunker Hill for most of the time now. I'm always
Now,
participating in PRs.
okay, so you said you're participating in IPRs or PRs.
PRs within rifles.
All right. Now, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I will say that just attending PRs doesn't really, emphasize the fact that you are up to date with the issues in CA today.
It gives me more knowledge on how rifles are because it's a big problem within CA, with nerfing rifles, for example.
Now, I understand that, but how do you seek to balance seasons out as much as possible?
How do I plan on analyzing it? Like,
Yeah,
how to balance?
yeah, basically. How do you plan on, analyzing seasons, making sure it's, you know, it's fair for mostly everybody, if not.
Well, obviously, with like, I will definitely have to see how each regiment is strategizing compared to rifles. As rifles and dragoons, I'll have to analyze how they actually strategize against it. Obviously, the main focal point with it is just strategy. It all comes down to strategy. It doesn't come down to complaining about like if it's too overpowered or whatnot. Okay, how do you make it not overpowered? And if I continue to see like different strategies not working within each regiment against these two, then obviously changes will have to be made.
Simping, check DMs.
I see that. All right, guys, I'm going to pull up a little image that you guys can analyze yourself in the chat. Please try not to flood the channel. So,
Wait, hold on before you do that. Mason, check DMs.
All right, tell me when I, can do you probably know.
You're good. You're good. Resume. I
This
gotta
is
say
Mason's time. And this is my time. As you can see, I am clearly more active than him in the games. And clearly by what he's saying, he says he's, active in CA as a whole, even though he's been, kind of in the shadows for a while now. Now, coming from your statements about how you're still active in CA, right?
Yep, I was selected.
How do these logs on the website, how do they back you up? How can you?
Well, it's probably because you're MP, first of all. MP are required to be on Bunker Hill most of the time.
No, of course, but that doesn't give you excuse to be as inactive as you are in the games.
If you have seen recently within the last week, the
In the
activity
last
has
week,
been
this
going on.
is the last week.
No, this is the last month that you're showing.
Yeah, the
Last
last
week has
month.
been me on Bunker Hill for most of the time, at least half an hour.
Yeah, this tier. I'll put a period reaction to it. This is your time over the whole month. Here,
I'm aware of
hold
that.
on. Somebody's calling me. Hold on.
what in the hell is that? Yo, does anybody hear that beeping again? Bro, is that me? Bro, it's so loud. Hold on.
All right, I'm back. Just
Okay,
saying I have to go in
holy
like 5 minutes.
crap.
But
Bro, I
what's
think
up?
alarm's going off. You have to go in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I have to go in like 5 minutes.
Oh man, he just sold his debate. Not gonna lie. All right, go ahead.
But basically what I'm saying is
Well, then I'll stop you. If you gotta go in 5 minutes, I'll stop your hot seat and let him put you in the hot seat.
All right, yeah.
All right, go, Mason, go.
All right, so simping. So when you were talking about your experience in third, why would you accept the position if you didn't know what third was about?
Of course, I stated that I did not accept the position in the chats in the announcements of third.
But you were still willing to actually take the position regardless.
What did you say? My
Potentially.
mic cut out. Sorry.
But you were still willing to take the position regardless, and you still put time into it.
I
So if you were
was forced into the
then what?
position.
Let me
I was
finish.
forced.
Let me finish. Just because you were forced to, right, doesn't mean you have to actually comply to it. You still didn't have to take that position regardless.
I was forced into it. I said no. I said I didn't want to take it, and Majestic updated me immediately and said I was C out.
You still didn't have to take it though. But okay.
I was forced, but sure.
Okay. So on to the next one. So obviously you've been mentioning how you've been out smoking. You haven't spoken about making it so Dragoons die if the horse dies. So how you avoid being biased about that?
I've never been in Dragoons. I have no bias towards them whatsoever, and I'm seeking to, balance it out. I know the horses are kind of a controversial topic right now, but I will try to balance it out between regiments. Here, what it? Yeah, and I get how the horse is, it would be kind of nerfed if it got hit and the rider died, but I will try to make it balanced for everyone.
How will you make it balanced?
By communicating well with the rest of the group.
Okay. So moving on to your colonelship with 5th. So obviously I'm pretty sure around the time where you were colonel of 5th, right? Pretty sure you were.
Here, make it quick because I feel like right now I'm selling my debate, but
All right, yeah, no, I got it. All right, so with your time in 5th when it was down at its lowest peak and you were there, and how would you explain your organizational skills to everyone after your colonelship in 5th and now you're with your colonelship in 3rd?
Restate it.
So with your colonelship in 5th, how would you compare your colonelship in 5th to your colonelship in 3rd when 5th was at its lowest peak? What did you do exactly to help fix 5th?
Again, I made countless documents. I performed spreadsheets. I brought back the ISTs, which were originally made by Waddies. Pretty solid. I brought up the rallies, bring up our combat, got the repulsors in, of course, and really just improved it overall. But anyways, I need to go like right now. So, but if you have any questions, anybody, please contact me. Obviously, I'm sorry I have to go.
So,
It's like an emergency. So,
all right, you're good.
but,
Bye.
all right. Peace out, guys.
Nice debate, man.
All right, Mason. I'm gonna put you in the hot seat.
All right.
I don't think you're ready for this fucking smoke though,
All right.
because I got the files, buddy. I got the files. Okay,
got Files. Okay.
the secret files,
Okay. Good.
and a large burp. I shouldn't have drunk Coke. Hold on. All right. Just a quick little, I've been doing my little research. Okay. All right. You're going to hate me for this. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to hate me. All right. Let me just go ahead. All right. So, true or false, okay? Did you not run for this position because I forced you to and or convinced you to?
We were in contact about the position. More so the convincing factor was you mentioned I'd be a fire candidate, and I figured I could probably give it a shot, and now here I am.
All right. Did you only run for this position because you didn't get BGN over Deadly?
No, I willingly declined BGen.
Oh. Mason, dude. Mason.
Hmm?
Mason.
I'm being honest here.
Mason.
What?
All right. Go ahead and check the chat. All right. You know what? Yeah, I'll play some multiple screenshots. So I DM'd you. I was like, okay, I need a 3rd Brigade BGen. Are you interested? You said, I'll tell you later tonight. I was like, no, I need to know right now. And then I said, never mind. It's between you and Deadly. I'll just pick Deadly. And then you said this.
What did
Right.
I have to counter it as well?
So you wanted to do it, correct?
It was tempting to.
Okay. And then you said, not scared, just wondering what I'm walking into. And then after we had that talk, you were like, I'll run for speaker, sure. I'll put the bid in. And boom. So, if not for that encounter, would you have not ran for this position at all?
I saw the position open up here, and then you mentioned it directly after.
Okay, so I want you to understand that. And here, hold on. I need to pull up the application logs. Hold on. Election candidate. All right. So I have a spreadsheet too to prove this. You were actually the last person to apply for Speaker of the House.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on while I get proof of that. So speaking as you were one of the last people, why did you say you wanted applied? If I feel like if you wanted to apply, you would have been one of those top people, such as Stop Simping. Stop Simping was the second person to apply.
Mm-hmm.
And you were the last. So does that say who's more enthusiastic about the position?
It's not about okay, so with Speaker of the House, it fits my schedule perfectly, honestly. It doesn't mean I have to be fully into it 24/7. The Speaker of the House, I mean, with Discord, I can be active 24/7, but with HQ, I found it as a higher priority to be part of the Speaker compared to BGen. I want to be able to set the ground for Speaker.
Okay, so you've stated before that basically you have a full-time job.
Correct.
And as Billy just stated, you even admitted to being in the HQ and having a full-time job is hard to do.
Difficult.
Here, I'll go ahead and send proof that you were the last person. So it doesn't matter. Just take my word for it. I have it though.
Yeah.
But So if you have a full-time job, why are you running for the Speaker of the House?
It's all dependent on the workload. Workload was
So if the workload gets too much, you're gonna dip.
no.
What are you gonna do? You have a
It
full-time
may
job.
stress me out, it may stress me out a little bit more, but I'll make sure things get done.
Okay. All right, we'll move on. We're done. We're done with this section. I'll give you a quick. There's no really reason to rebuttal or anything because he's not here. So just go into your closing statement and we'll wrap this up. You have 2 minutes. As soon as you start, it'll begin.
Okay, so obviously you guys have heard our different viewpoints and everything. I'm definitely looking forward to the upcoming election and everything. I mean, obviously I know that I just got pretty much gaslit by Platt, but yeah. Other than that, I'm definitely willing to do whatever I can to get you guys support. And I'm definitely willing to do whatever I can to be Speaker of the House in the future.
Is that all?
That's all.
This election has concluded. If you were recording, please send it to me. At this time, you all are dismissed.